Pamela Anderson has had 9 weddings. She can have whoever she wants, so why does she keep picking the wrong guy?
One man can't do it all.
Husband number 6 was a random Canadian construction guy.
He was cute, married him. That didn't last long.
But he lasted longer than husband number 5. He only lasted 12 days. Husband 4 and 3 was the same guy.
He found a crack pipe in the Christmas tree. He ended up being a big drug addict.
Husband 2 was Kid Rock. She married him 4 times.
Pulled out of the womb with both middle fingers in the air.
When do you know this was a tremendous mistake?
Right when I got married.
And then there was husband number 1.
The baddest of the bad boys.
What could possibly go wrong?
That infamous sex tape stolen from their home.
I really thought he was going to kill me.
He was arrested and charged with spousal and child abuse.
You keep saying in every interview, the only man I ever really loved was Tommy Lee.
Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee. Rocker Tommy Lee.
The Motley Crue drummer with the bad boy in it.
Tommy was the love of my life, and he had such a heightened, romantic, crazy, fun relationship. It was very fairy tale and tragic.
Good girls like bad boys. That's just the way it goes.
She started out as just a small-town, innocent girl.
I really always had such a fairy tale idea of what a wedding would be, that I'd meet somebody, fall in love, and it would just be very romantic, and it would be love at first sight. Because I was actually a very shy, painfully shy girl.
That all changed when Playboy magazine came knocking.
I'm Pamela Anderson, Miss February, 1990. When I got to that first Playboy photo shoot, I just said, like, why am I so freaking paralyzed by this shyness? I'm so sick of all this past that's created this insecurity in me. I had a babysitter. I tried to kill her. And my parents thought she was a great babysitter. But she was molesting me. It was like 3 or 4 years of abuse. She always told me not to tell my parents. I tried to protect my brother from her. I tried to stab her in the heart with a candy cane pen. And then I told her I wanted her to die, and then she died in a car accident the next day, so I thought I killed her with my magical mind, and I couldn't tell anybody. But I was sure that I did it, that I wished her dead and she died. Those were kind of my first exposure to sexual experiences too, so I think a lot of confusion. What it made me was very, very shy. It made me super self-conscious. It's like a prison. I have to break out of it. From the first snap of the picture, I felt like I was throwing myself off a bridge, just like snap. That was the first time I felt like I'd broken free of something. Now I was gonna take the power of my own sexuality and take my power back. And then everything was like bam, 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 and then crazy from there. So it began.
Pamela Anderson is this generation's sultry sex goddess.
Is perhaps the most famous blonde on the planet.
International superstar from her role on Baywatch.
CJ Parker was based on me. She was kind of like this hippie little romantic. Miss, I think I'm in love.
Oh no, CJ, come on, not again. You just met the guy.
I don't know, it's just, he brings out feelings in me I never knew I had.
You say that every time.
No, this time's different. It was New Year's night, and I was with my best friend, and Tommy was there. I gave everyone a Goldschlager shot to celebrate, but Tommy thought it was only for him, so he came bounding over everybody and sat next to me and licked the side of my face. After that night, the phone wouldn't stop ringing, and he was leaving messages. I didn't answer him back. One day, when the phone rang, and then it rang again, I was like, oh shoot, maybe it's my agent. He goes, hello. I was like, Tommy? He sounded really sad. He goes, hi. I said, hi. I go, I'm so sorry I kind of ditched you before, but I just, I'm busy right now. I'm going to Cancun. And he goes, oh, I'll see you there. It's like, no, you can't come there. He goes, no, I'll be there. I'll find you. Tommy was leaving messages. I'm in Cancun now. This is my hotel. This is where I'm staying. I'm here with some buddies. We're going to find you. I'm going hotel by hotel to find you. And so I was nervous. And then finally I went, what could possibly go wrong? I said, we leave tomorrow. Let's call him and let's have one night with these guys. Famous last words. What could go wrong? So then we went to La Boom. We had champagne and we put ecstasy in my champagne, which I'd never tried before. The rest is all a big blur. All a big happy blur. Later on that night, and he just looked at me and he goes, you want to get married? And I was like, yeah, I do. And he goes, have you ever felt this way before? I go, never. I've never felt this way before. And he goes, Okay, and he took his friend's skull ring off, put it on my finger. And so after a few days together in Cancun, we got married. My maid of honor was somebody that we met in the club that night. We were lying in lawn chairs, sipping chi-chis, and I got married in the bikini, and Tommy was in board shorts.
I'm the luckiest girl on the planet. My beautiful husband.
Right now, Tommy and Pam could not be happier. They're in newlywed bliss.
We felt pretty invincible.
Tommy, he is love, sex, rock and roll, sweet. Don't forget talented, romantic.
Pamela, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've only ever wanted to be your knight in shining armor. So here I am. Will you marry me again?
Yes.
Are you seriously at the moment trying to get pregnant, and how many children do you want?
Well, how many do we want, baby? 2 or 3? Yeah, but we're working on it.
This has been always my dream to have children. I always knew how I'd raise my children. I knew I'd raise them in a very healthy way.
Videotape me pregos. You haven't videotaped my prego belly. I was so happy.
I feel Brandon moving. It's wild. I have a little person inside of me, depending on me. I will be the best mother ever.
Hi, Brandon.
Hey. It was such a really happy time in my life, but we didn't realize everything was about to change. One day, we got something in the mail. It was wrapped in brown paper. Tommy opened it. It was a VHS tape, and he watched it, and I didn't watch it. I've never watched it. Later, he came upstairs and he goes, "This is a VHS tape of us having sex. We just were naked all the time and filmed each other. We're on vacations and stuff." What they did is they found all the nudity they could from different High 8 tapes, and they spliced them together.
The tape was stolen from Tommy Lee and myself. IEG is now selling that tape worldwide illegally without my or Tommy's consent. Further, we have not received 1 penny or signed an agreement permitting them to merchandise this tape.
Where the deposition started, I was pregnant again. I was nervous, but it was all going to affect the health of our baby. The lawyers basically said, "You're in Playboy, you have no right to privacy." I know some people would have fought to the death on it, but I'm pregnant, I don't want this to affect the baby. Tommy and I had a miscarriage first. We were scared that it could happen again. We're not going to put Dylan's life at risk, because it was just tearing me apart. I just said to Tommy, I said, "I can't take it. I can't take it anymore."
The Lees dropped their lawsuit against cyber sex company IEG. IEG is now playing the video, which is spreading quickly.
It really was the first viral video.
I think that was the deterioration of kind of whatever image I had.
That's the international symbol for Pamela Lee right there.
A woman like yourself, when was the last time a man who wasn't gay and wasn't related to you didn't try to
You got a great body, why not? Why not use it? That's what I say. Why's everything got to be about the acting? I say, let's just look at you.
I actually have a bone to pick with you.
No, really? No, why?
Yeah,
You know what? Why are you
I
mad?
know, you're supposed to be my friend, and
I
you're
am
like,
your friend.
you know, jump on the bandwagon, everyone's making fun of us, and...
Making fun? What?
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
It's not funny, this is devastating to us.
What? It is?
It is, yeah, it's terrible.
Tommy is a rock star. It all adds to the image of the craziness and everything. It was different for me than it was for him. It was super humiliating. I knew at that point my career was over. And then everything kind of blew up after that.
Tommy comes by every day. He's here every single day. He's basically moved into my trailer.
While I was on Baywatch, I would be in my trailer. He would sneak in because it was his time with his wife.
He's really jealous. Remember, baby, you're really jealous.
Yeah,
Don't let me do anything. Nothing.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
I thought it was cute. I thought it was cute, and I thought that was what love is. I can remember some things that were really big red flags. But if I didn't think about it too much, I would think our relationship was perfect.
He would always know when to show up. He would look at the call sheets. He probably had access to the script, and he would show up in the scenes where there could be an opportunity for him to get pissed.
If they saw Tommy coming, they would change the dialogue, change the scene.
I had to kiss David Shokachi, but I didn't tell Tommy. He lost it. He came and trashed my trailer on the set. I apologized for not telling him, lying, as he put it, and told him it wouldn't happen again.
He was always in my eye line. He would always be behind the camera. Tommy was always there. It was too much.
Lee was arrested at the couple's Malibu home and charged with spousal and child abuse. He allegedly kicked his wife while she was holding the couple's infant son.
The rock musician was released on $500,000 bail, but prohibited from telephoning or going near his spouse.
Why did he hit you, do you think?
He was jealous of the kids. He told me that I know I'm third on the totem pole, and he threw me and Dylan into a wall, and Dylan had a huge welt on his head at 7 weeks old.
I never hit Pamela. I grabbed and shaked Pamela. I never hit her. I've never hit her in my life. I would never do that. That's insanity is what that is. I would never, ever do that. Grabbing a woman and shaking a woman is not cool either. But that's what was done.
Why would you do that? I mean, what was it about your anger that would make you lash out physically?
There's a lot of pressure. We've been going through a lot of stuff. So, sex tapes appearing, new children, postpartum. Tommy comes third now instead of first. I'm a new father. I don't know how to deal with that. Just start stacking them all up. And you got a guy who really, the whole argument stemmed that evening from me wanting some love.
He really fought for us to stay together. I mean, I had to bifurcate the divorce because he wouldn't sign the papers. He thought we could get through it. And I just took my kids and was like, no. It wasn't a gray area for me. It was like, you can't do that.
Well, I grew up in a very, in an alcoholic home, and there was violence in my household.
They fought quite a bit. A lot of name calling and physical abuse too.
You recreate the pattern even though you say you're never, ever going to do that. You're never going to have the same relationship. What gave me the strength really is my children.
Where do you stand with him now? You're in court with Tommy Lee?
We're not speaking. We're not speaking.
Is there a lawsuit or where are you divorced?
We're divorced.
Does he support his children? Does he see them a lot?
No. He hasn't called my house in over a year to talk to the kids. Well, he is their father, and I believe that every child should know both biological parents, and I think it'd be wonderful as a positive influence in their lives for him to be a real part of it, but they're scared of going over there. They don't want to go over there. They've always been afraid of their father, and the fathers had no contact really with them. The kids Brandon came home with a black eye, and I felt to my bone, my intuition as a mother. I mean, I just felt so strong that something was going on wrong up there, and when they opened up to their therapist, the therapist had to call child services. They interviewed my children. My children told them the most horrendous things that they didn't even tell me, that they called the sheriff department. And they called the children were under protective custody. I've had this image in my head, so when I got married, I just wanted kids. And I mean, I'm sorry to my children that the parent that I picked was just not ready.
I married Kid Rock. His name is Bob Ritchie. We had a great time, much fun together. He was really good to the boys. But I didn't feel like this is love because I have a impression of what love is, and this isn't it. It just didn't have that height, that frenzy that I was used to. I didn't want anything less than that.
When do you know, oh my God, this was a tremendous mistake? Do you know right away, or did you did?
Right when I got married.
You knew it was a mistake when the ceremony was going on, in other words?
Well, just after.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. Through my relationship with Pam, this ongoing thing went with Tommy. I was raising his kids, and there's a lot of really disrespectful stuff going on with his own kids that I was raising. I always turned the cheek and tried to be the bigger guy. for the kids. We then went to MTV Awards. He's at the MTV Awards, whatever. He comes over and sits down next to me. He has to smack his hat off, punched him, and that was the end of it.
And then what do you do, Pam? Pam, what do you do when you realize?
Then I slowly try and find my way out.
Do you make yourself unavailable? You don't want to be mean.
I try, but I think I detach a little bit, and I think that's what's kind of made people a little crazy. And any sign of, violence or kind of a disrespect or lying is my excuse to leave. I always felt guilty because of my kids. I wanted to show them traditional relationship or a marriage or a man that's consistent and giving them good examples in their life.
She loves getting married, Maybe it's her favorite thing in the world is falling in love. And then, I guess loves the idea of, falling out of love, too.
The following year, Pamela said "I do" yet again to husband number 3, professional poker player Rick Salomon.
And he ended up being a big drug addict. And we found a crack pipe in the Christmas tree. So we were only married a few months. It was annulled. Then, when he got sober, and was sober for years, we decided to try it again. It didn't last long either.
Pamela Anderson surprised everybody a couple of weeks ago when she announced that she'd gotten married to movie producer John Peters, because now they've split up after 12 days.
I'm attracted to these very hetero, masculine men. Their initial attraction to me might be, oh, she's the Playboy thing or this kind of sexual thing. And some men hate you for being something else. Everything was just compounding, when things happen, and even relationship after relationship. It's not just, it accumulates. It's not just one disaster after another. They add to the last disaster, and I just felt like I just want to go home. I bought this little farm from my grandmother 30 years ago, 25 years ago, and I thought, I just need to go home and renovate and not meet anybody. Of course, met the contractor. He was cute, married him.
Dad, this is going to seem a ridiculous question to the whole world, but what did you fall for Pamela? That gorgeous being.
I couldn't resist. She couldn't resist me.
That didn't last long. But still, why do I do that? Maybe because of how I grew up and saw my parents, and maybe because of some of the relationships I had, I didn't equate being in love with being nice. My mom used to always say to me, I feel bad. I've set an example for you. I know your dad's an asshole, but I love him. I would pick people similar, I guess, in some ways. I just feel like I just jump into something because, Tommy and I did, and we had this, incredible connection. But then you jump into something and it's like, oh, it's not this incredible connection. It's just something else. And I don't think I ever gave myself a chance to have another relationship after that was of any value. It was more like trying to put a family unit back together, but I wasn't really in love. I just was going through the motions and then realizing I have nothing in common with this person. I was putting people in my life to kind of numb some of the pain or be with someone, companionship, but nothing healthy. It's my actions that really propelled me into thinking, I need to go back from the beginning. When was I normal? Before weird stuff started happening to me? I need to go back to that 5-year-old child. And so I started putting her picture everywhere. And when I did Broadway, I put her picture on the mirror and I said, she's gonna do Broadway and I'm just gonna get out of the way. And it was so powerful. I mean, it's a crazy exercise to picture yourself at 5 years old from head to toe and embrace that person and tell them that they're gonna be okay and get through everything. It's just self-awareness, self-exploration, self-education. It kind of went right back there. And I could picture myself at 5 years old, 8 years old, where I used my imagination to kind of escape. I wanted to go back there and feel those feelings and now I can just put the past behind me.
Pamela Anderson is shocking the world with her new image.
I didn't come to Paris Fashion Week and think, I'm not gonna wear any makeup. I just thought, I don't know, something just kind of came over me and I was dressing in these beautiful clothes and I thought, I don't want to compete with the clothes. I'm not trying to be the prettiest girl in the room. I feel like it's just freedom. It's like a relief. I think part of my reason for really kind of stripping down and stripping all this away is because it's just time to really be myself. I have a story to tell. It was therapeutic for me, and hopefully it'll be inspiring to others. I'm here. I'm living in the house that I grew up in, which is triggering and crazy, just like marrying a rock star. It's like coming home to this nutty place where, you know, my childhood happened. This last year, I've been alone, and it's been a really incredible year for me. You know, just kind of going through, looking back and reflecting on everything, and you know, so it's been good. I mean, like, you have to be able to be alone too before you can be with somebody else. So I feel like I'm just kind of growing up right now.
I've always been willing to change, but now I realize I just need to be more of me. And when you believe in yourself, other people start believing in you too. And it's a cliche thing to say, but as soon as I decided I'm good enough, then all this stuff just started happening. It was like miracle after miracle. And now I feel like I'm in the right place.